Tonight at 5, we'll look at the last resort options available to you on New Year's Eve in order to ring in the new year safely. Plus, how Wisconsin is responding to the federal government's efforts to ban gender-affirming care for minors. And from severe storms to a poison plot, we're taking a look back at the year that was in news stories as we head into 2026. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you had a very nice Christmas. Eric is off tonight. We begin with developing news, big news in Green Bay. Jordan Love will not play in tomorrow's game against the Ravens. The Packers announced that the Packers quarterback, his concussion has downgraded him to out for the game over the weekend. Our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde will have more coverage of this coming up in just a little while. But first, we want to get to the weather. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is here. This is going to be a very busy travel weekend, and some big changes are on the way, Alex.
Yeah, big changes. I put that in all bold and all caps. As we were mentioning last night, I had a sneaking suspicion we were going to be moving into alert day conditions, and that does look like it's going to pan out. This is for Sunday night. Madison and especially areas north of Madison looking at snow, a flash freeze, and very strong winds as we head into Sunday night going on into Monday. Let's just get right at it. We expect a cold front and an area of low pressure to rapidly develop over the upper Midwest with a mix of rain and snow in Madison right around 7 o'clock. That low pressure moves towards the north and towards the east, and on the backside, bringing very strong winds and snow to much of the state of Wisconsin and much of the upper Great Lakes region as well. It's not just southern Wisconsin. Some of the heavier snow totals, I think, will line up in central and northern Wisconsin, but nonetheless, some snow here in southern Wisconsin in the combination of falling temperatures and also the snow and the wind. We're going to have slick surfaces for sure Sunday night. Now, as we plan tonight, fog is going to develop. We'll have temperatures in the low to mid 30s, so staying very mild tonight and a mild day on Saturday. Highs in the lower 40s as that fog tries to burn on off. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to go deeper into that weather system that we're expecting Sunday going on into Monday, and then I'll give you my advice on travel for this weekend that's coming up.
We're looking forward to that, Alex. Thank you. Looking ahead to the new year, Madison Metro is not offering its extended ride services for the holiday this year, and that may leave some having to figure out other ways to get home safely. Our Maya Tate spoke with the director of public affairs for AAA to learn about their Tow-to-Go program to help keep impaired drivers off the road. Maya?
Tow-to-Go, a program offered by AAA, could save lives this New Year's Eve. If you find yourself in a situation where your only way home would be to drive impaired, AAA offers a free ride program that will not only pick you up, but also tow your car, so you don't need to find a way back to your car the next day. The service is available to the overall public, whether you have a AAA membership or not.
You really can't stress enough the importance of having a plan before you go out. There just really is no excuse to ever get behind the wheel when you know you're impaired. The risks of doing so to yourself and to others is just unacceptable. And this is our small way of making sure that there really are no excuses at the end of the night to make that dangerous choice.
AAA does note that Tow-to-Go is intended to only be used as a last resort, so you can't plan a ride in advance. They also suggest that everyone should plan on having a designated driver or using a rideshare. Tow-to-Go is typically available around major holidays such as New Year's Eve, Thanksgiving, and St. Patrick's Day. For more information on the service, you can check out AAA's website. To get a free ride within a 10-mile radius, call 855-2TOW-TO-GO.
Very important information, Maya. Thank you. A Lodi woman is battling an unexpected $44,000 bill nearly a year after a crash in a company vehicle. Consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn has what you need to know to avoid falling into the same insurance loophole if you're driving for work.
Kara Coralie was behind the wheel of a company car for Ride Connect LLC when another driver T-boned her, sending her into a traffic light. Now our Call for Action team is working to help Coralie and warning other rideshare and delivery drivers to make sure you are protected. A year after the crash, State Farm sent Kara Coralie a bill for $44,000.
It was just very disheartening. It was just like somebody, I don't know, just stomped on me.
Ride Connect's insurance policy, provided by Safeco, did not cover her because she wasn't officially listed as a driver on the policy.
I was under the impression they had insurance. I would have never been driving for Ride Connect if I would have thought for 1 second there was not insurance on, and it was their vehicle that I was driving.
Corley turned to Call for Action, who advised her to file a claim with her personal insurance, Wisconsin Mutual. But that claim was also denied, the company stating, quote, "The policy specifically excludes the use of a covered vehicle while being used for a business purpose." Commercial insurance attorney Will Kramer helps many consumers in these situations minimize their losses.
The only way you'll really know what's covered and what's not is to read the insurance policy, but it's extremely complicated to read those.
He says while it's the employer's responsibility,
Where it gets sketchy is if you work for, a very small company or a company that doesn't have a lot of resources.
Ride Connect LLC is not a BBB accredited business. News 3 Now reached out for comment multiple times and Ride Connect failed to respond. Other rideshare programs like Uber and Lyft offer insurance for their drivers. To be sure you are insured while driving for work, double check the policies. Does your work have you listed as a driver? Personal auto insurance policies almost always exclude business use, but making sure your name is on the policy could save you thousands in legal fees if you end up being at fault.
Thank you, Michelle Renee. Wisconsin is joining a lawsuit to block the Department of Health and Human Services from enforcing a ban on gender-affirming care for minors. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. unveiled that plan earlier this month, calling such procedures malpractice. In a statement on joining the lawsuit, Wisconsin's Attorney General Josh Kaul said in part, quote, "Secretary Kennedy must not be permitted to exercise major influence by decree over what health care is available. Allowing the HHS secretary to do so could have sweeping consequences for access to quality, evidence-based health care." Needless to say, it was another very busy year in southern Wisconsin. Some of the big stories that made news included severe storms, a poison plot, and a story of survival. Arman Rahman is taking a look back at 2025 with just some of the year's big headlines.
You know, the term slow news day almost never applied in 2025. For Southwest Wisconsin, it was a year of capers, escapers, zephyrs, and rockers. A whirlwind of news that started with literal whirlwinds, tornadoes that tore through Dodge County.
I could feel the pressure drop, my ears popped, I kind of like it sucked the air out of the room.
In May, Mayville and Juneau were hit by an EF2 tornado that tossed trees into homes, flung trailers and debris across the landscape, and leveled the Juneau staple, the Schwant family farm. Their 150 cows, which they considered family, scattered.
They're special friends of ours that we live for and they live for us.
But everyone on the human side of the family made it to safety. They were just so happy when I came in. And when I told them everything was leveled, they just broke down bawling. Then 2 months later in July, 6 tornadoes touched down in Wisconsin, one narrowly missing our meteorologist's mother's house while he was on the air.
County Road YZ, so that would be right where we're looking at. So I'm going to text my mom and let her know.
Yep.
No one was seriously hurt or killed in these storms. People were also wondering what was in the air in Madison in June when multiple hazmat crews popped up at 2 homes in town. The cause, a couple wanting to get back at past lovers. Paul Van Dyne and his girlfriend Andrea Whitaker had devised a plot to poison Van Dyne's ex-girlfriends in Dane and Rock counties using cyanide in a water bottle and a chemical called thallium.
Paul is a threat. He is dangerous.
One woman in Rock County was hospitalized after she was poisoned by that water bottle. The woman from Dane County spoke out in court about how she was nearly killed by a man she barely knew.
I am scared for myself. I'm scared for my 2 children.
Both Whitaker and Van Dyne pleaded not guilty in both counties. Their trial is still ongoing. In November, the search was on for Morgan Geyser. Geyser, when she was 12, stabbed Taylor Leitner 19 times in 2014, egged on by her friend to please the online horror character Slender Man. Geyser was supposed to be at a group home on Madison's southwest side, unbeknownst to residents, but she cut off her ankle monitor bracelet and fled, prompting a nationwide search. She was found at a gas station in Posen, Illinois. with the 43-year-old person she met at the group home, Chad Mecca.
I did something really wrong.
She didn't want to give her name because she did something really bad.
Geyser was taken back to the Waukesha County Jail, where she waits as the state tries to revoke her conditional release, which allowed her to go to the group home. Her attorney argues she should be relocated back to a mental health facility in Winnebago. A climate journalist raised in Stoughton made headlines after he went missing while hiking a glacier in Norway in August. Alec Lund set out on a 4-day solo backpacking trip on a Norwegian glacier, but his family never heard from him and he missed his flight back home. His sister spoke to News 3 Now while the search was underway.
He has a real will to live, so I know he's out there.
In a shocking but relieving ending, Lund was found alive after being stranded almost a week, falling off a cliff and injuring his foot.
It's incredible. We're just also grateful that it went in this direction and not the other direction. It is just like this huge weight has been pulled off, and it feels like we can breathe.
Some lighter news. For the first time since 1997, Camp Randall Stadium went from touchdowns to downbeats, opening up for concerts with Morgan Wallen and Coldplay. Thousands gathered under the Friday night lights to make a sky full of stars. The concerts provided a significant economic boom to the city, and it's not over. AC/DC is set to take the stage next summer.
And those are just some of the news making headlines this year. Reporting in Madison, I'm Arman Rahman, wishing you all a happy holidays and a happy new year.
And to you as well, Armand. What a year it was. Up next at 5, Alex is back with a look at alert day conditions for the weekend. He'll tell us how fast the wind gusts could come on Sunday evening, especially important if you or your loved ones are traveling. Plus, our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde is in Green Bay with the latest after the team announces quarterback Jordan Love is out for tomorrow's game. On Wall Street today, the Dow dropped 20 points, the Nasdaq closed down 20, and the S&P 500 was off just 2 points. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5, moving forward.
Well, the Packers will be playing the Ravens tomorrow without Jordan Love. News 3 Now's senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has some insight on what might have gone into that decision from Green Bay.
The bad news for the Green Bay Packers, their starting quarterback Jordan Love did not clear the NFL's concussion protocol. He is out for Saturday night's game against the Baltimore Ravens at Lambeau Field. The good news, they may have the best backup quarterback in all of the NFL. Malik Willis will start in Love's place. Now, he did suffer an injury of his own against the Bears last Saturday night. He suffered a right shoulder injury, but he played well after Love departed with that concussion. And the Packers feel really good, not only about his ability to win games for them, but the growth he has shown since they acquired him before last season for a 7th-round pick from Tennessee. And to Malik Willis, the biggest growth has been in his decision-making.
This position is about decision-making. I mean, all the cool stuff is, you see guys really strong arms, guys that are really athletic. The main thing is just being a great decision-maker and making sure that when it's not the perfect play, that you don't make it a disastrous play. And I think that's what I've grown most with as being a young quarterback in this league and to this point now.
The Packers aren't the only ones with a quarterback situation. The Ravens are unlikely to have their 2-time NFL MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson. He is listed as doubtful for the game with a back contusion he suffered back on Sunday. That means Tyler Huntley, their backup, is expected to make the start. We'll have full coverage leading into the game and of the game itself on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for the Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Thank you, Jason. And don't forget to watch a special episode of the Wisconsin Huddle tonight. Sports director Andrew Banstra takes a look at the best of Badger volleyball. We'll have the best segments from our volleyball guests from this past season. It airs tonight at 6:30, immediately following News 3 Now at 6. And now over to the Weather Center. We're going to go from mild right into January. Timing is perfect, Alex.
Timing is perfect. Winter is going to say, hey there, it's still winter, and it's going to come back in a hurry as we go on into Sunday. Big changes on Sunday. Alert day conditions. Last night I started mentioning, I think we're going to have alert day conditions by Sunday night. That looks likely with a mix of snow, a flash freeze. It means really falling temperatures. Anything that's wet turns to ice, and wind for Madison, especially for areas north of Madison too, up towards the Dells and up towards Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties. That's all part of the three things you need to know. But we got to get through some fog first tonight. Relish Saturday. My travel advice to you is if you can travel Saturday, go for it, because alert day conditions build in by Sunday. Right now, our FutureTrek visibility model showing the likelihood of dense fog across southern Wisconsin to start off Friday. Or is tomorrow Friday? Tomorrow Saturday. Sorry. Yeah. It's been a long week. Long week here. But nonetheless, take it easy as we go into Saturday morning. That dense fog will try to burn off, but we will still have cloudy and foggy conditions across much of the day. Then the big day here is Sunday. Temperatures starting off in the 40s right around noon. A strong cold front comes through. The temperatures plummet. By the time we get to the late evening hours, we're down in the teens. So anything that's wet is going to freeze. That's the flash freeze. And we wake up Monday morning here, 7 o'clock in the morning, to temperatures in the low to mid to upper teens. So big change. Susan was mentioning before the wind. The wind is going to be roaring at times between 35 and 40 miles per hour. I know we lost the numbers there, but I can guarantee you, whenever you see pink and purple here, really strong winds Sunday night going on into Monday. And those wind chills as cold as -5 to -10 starting off Monday. And now let's look at the precipitation part of this weather system here. The flash freeze is when we have water. We're going to have rain first, and then the temperatures are going to plummet, and those wet surfaces will freeze. And then with snow falling across the area as we go into Sunday afternoon, evening, and overnight, that's going to add to the icy road conditions that we are expecting. Saturday, cloudy, mild. The fog will try to burn on off. Here comes that area of low pressure developing just to the south and to our west. Precipitation breaks out as we move into Sunday evening, a mix of rain and snow in Madison. All snow for central and northern Wisconsin, where likely the heavier snow totals will eye up. But then that low pressure will move off towards the north and towards the east over lower Michigan. And on the backside of this is where we have that counterclockwise flow coming in, bringing colder temperatures in from the north, strong north winds, and some light snow lasting into Monday for all of Wisconsin. And the reason why I'm showing the bigger picture here, this is not just a southern Wisconsin system. This is an upper Midwest wide system. So as I was mentioning before, if you can travel on Saturday, I encourage that travel on Saturday, or maybe just wait until Monday, because rain to snow and falling temps, slick travel is likely here in southern Wisconsin, in the entire state of Wisconsin, and much of the upper Midwest. Following our alert day Sunday, look at our temperatures here. Much, much, much colder as we start off 2026 with bitterly cold temperatures at times as we move into January. So as we were just saying at the top of the weathercast here, winter's on its way back, and it's saying, I'm here. I didn't forget you, southern Wisconsin. I'm coming back.
But those 40s, that was a nice gift, a nice chance to thaw out a little bit.
Indeed, yeah.
Good stuff. All right, thank you, Alex. Well, coming up, we'll tell you the argument the Trump administration is making to justify its Christmas Day strikes on Nigeria and how it's being received in that country. Stay with us. News 3 Now at 5. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Moving forward.
U.S. safety regulators are looking into some Tesla Model 3 cars following a complaint about the vehicle's door handles. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration received a report from a driver saying that he had to escape through his Tesla's rear window after the car caught fire. The complaint says Tesla's mechanical door release is hidden, unlabeled, and not intuitive to locate during an emergency. We're learning more tonight about the Christmas Day U.S. strikes on Islamic State forces in Nigeria. Plus, negotiations to end the war in Ukraine are intensifying. Olivia Rinaldi has the latest from the White House.
This is the burnt area Nigerian police cordoned off on Friday after U.S. military officials said they conducted airstrikes against Islamic State forces. The Defense Department also released this video of what it says was one of the missiles launched late Thursday. President Trump claimed in a social media post the Christmas Day operation targeted ISIS terrorists who have been killing, quote, primarily innocent Christians. President Trump called the strikes numerous and deadly, but did not offer additional details, like what was specifically targeted or the number of casualties. The Nigerian government, however, did say they shared intelligence with the U.S. before the attack. A Nigerian Islamic cleric criticized the airstrikes, saying it targeted a predominantly Muslim area with no history of Christian persecution.
There was never any incident of persecution of Christians in Sokoto State. Their churches were not attacked.
The military action in Nigeria comes amid a sign that diplomatic efforts to end the nearly 4-year war in Ukraine may be intensifying. On Friday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told reporters he'll likely meet with President Trump in Florida on Sunday to discuss, among other things, security guarantees for Ukraine. Zelensky's announcement came after he said he had a good conversation with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner on Christmas. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, the White House.
When we're back, Alex Harrington takes a final check on your First Warn forecast as we look ahead to alert day conditions over the weekend. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, sports reporter Kay Racine has a preview of the Bucks game against the Grizzlies tonight. The countdown is underway in the Big Apple for the annual New Year's Eve celebration in Times Square. The 7-foot-tall 2026 numerals were officially installed this morning and tested and lit up. This year, the numbers will display a variety of colors and patterns, and after midnight, the numbers will light up in red, white, and blue. That's to mark the nation's 250th anniversary. Very exciting. They're getting a big snowstorm out east tonight.
Yes, 6 to 9 inches in the Big Apple.
Wow. And for us, mostly nice until the end of the weekend.
Until the end of the weekend. As we were mentioned before, Susan, if you can travel on Saturday, I encourage that. At 6, I'll have another look at what looks to be a ugly kind of day Sunday night going on into Monday, the latest at 6.
Okay, thank you, Alex. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching at 5, everyone. The CBS Evening News is coming up next. We hope to see you back here in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.